Thank you.
Namaskar, everyone. WWF-India welcomes you to Nat-Infra Dialogues, a webinar series developed in collaboration with Asia's Linear Infrastructure Safeguarding Nature, that is ALIGN project, and the Consulting Engineers Associations of India, CEAI. ALIGN project is funded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and is being implemented in India, Nepal, and Mongolia by WWF and the Center for Large Landscape Conservation. The current webinar is the fourth of Nat-Infra Dialogue, which was developed to bring forth challenges and opportunities while working in development and conservation sectors. The webinar aims to promote dialogues and information exchange for promoting conservation-friendly linear infrastructure development approaches. We organizers believe that today's webinar, use of GIS-based tool for informed decision-making in infrastructure development, will bring out interesting insight for not only engineers and planners working in development sector, but also for conservationists to understand the tools available to cater to achieving conservation successes while achieving sustainable development. These webinars are being recorded and will be available online as learning resources through WWF India and CEAI social media outlets. There are two speakers and a presenter in this webinar, and we'll be taking your questions later after the presentation. Proceeding with the webinar, I would request Mr. Pramod Neopani, lead ALIGN project, to introduce the session and speaker. Over to you, Mr. Neopani.
Thank you, Ridhima ji. Good evening, everyone. Namaste. Dear infrastructure and conservation enthusiasts, we've been conducting this webinar series, Nat-Infra Talks, with an aim to increase awareness and sensitivity of the stakeholders to meet the growing need of infrastructure development, where development and conservation initiatives would complement each other to achieve sustainable development goals. We've been seeing a rapid and phenomenal growth in infrastructure development in India, with government's priority to become a developed nation by 2047. Infrastructure growth, urban development, and innovation research and development are the three major precedents among 9 priorities of the Union Budget of India for fiscal year 24-25, where equitable and just development aligns with nature conservation initiatives. In this webinar, we'll be talking and deep diving on how GIS-based technologies are being used in transforming the information system, aiding to informed decision-making for infrastructure development in India. For this, to begin with, I would like to introduce you to Mr. R.S. Sharma, who is the current chairman of Consulting Engineers, President of Consulting Engineers Association of India. He has worked in the Ministry of Roads, Transport and Highways on various projects during 1972 to 2006 and took voluntary retirement from the post of Chief Engineer in November 2006. During his tenure, he has also served as the Chief General Manager for NHAI and Secretary General for Indian Road Congress on deputation. After 2006, he is in the consultancy sector. He has over 5 decades of professional experience and has been responsible for the preparation of DPR and implementation of large number of highway projects across the length and breadth of India. He has dealt with the forest and environment clearance for a number of domestic and multilateral funding related projects. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pramod. Privilege to welcome you all to this website for informed decision making in infrastructure development. The Consulting Engineers Association of India have joined hands with the WWF-India to sensitize the importance of protecting ecosystem in the backdrop of rapid and unprecedented infrastructure development in all the 3 fields, that is roads, railways, and transportation. As already informed by Ridhima, we have already organized 3 webinars. The first webinar was on safeguarding nature in linear infrastructure development. The second webinar was on policy and legal aspects of linear infrastructure development in India. The third webinar was on nature-first infrastructure development and role of environment impact assessments. I think we are also developing a guideline for users for preparing the DPRs and also for how to protect the environment. The practice guidelines is being prepared by CIA and WWF-India with the help of the experts in the field, domain experts. Today's webinar on the GIS system is a model developed by WWF-India. They will be presenting on it. I think most of you may be aware this government of India has developed a tool that is GIS-based tool that's called Gati Shakti. And all the important projects which are taken up by the government, central government, they are put in their system and it is monitored at the PM office. And they look at the regional and the local developments. So wherever the project comes, they look at it, all the projects, the railway, roads, all other projects also, they are all put in the GIS platform to look at it, how to have the whole development of the region as well as local, this one. So this GIS tool and is also be used in a lot of things. I have been in the road sector. We are using this in land acquisition, and it is being widely used in the monitoring of the projects. All the project data is
I think we lost Mr. Sharma. Sharma sir, can you hear us? We will take again Mr. Sharma when he joins back. If not, we'll just try to continue with the webinar. Initially, we wanted two different speakers to present on today's topic, and we had planned this with Pankaj Sinha sir, who unfortunately could not join us today because of his some prior commitments and other last minute sort of change in plans. So if he joins in, we'll be taking him. Otherwise, we'll just continue with our presentation from WWF India, where Dr. Areendran will be presenting. So going forward, Dr. Areendran Gopala is the Director for Tech for Conservation at WWF India. Dr. Areendran is a PhD in wildlife science with over 30 years of experience in the field of wildlife ecology. His work at WWF ranges from addressing conservation issues occurring in various landscapes with a high focus on tiger, elephant, rhinoceros to overseeing several institutional GIS-based projects. Dr. Areendran has an MSc degree in ecology from Pondicherry University and PhD from Wildlife Institute of India. He will be explaining about the use of Rapid Infrastructure Impact Assessment Model RIIAM tool for the use in forecasting the impacts of upcoming infrastructure in conservation landscapes. The tool has been developed in-house by WWF India in the leadership with support from Carnegie Mellon University under the grants of AI for Social Good project under Google funding. Dr. Areendran, please take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pramod, and thank you, Riddhima, for this opportunity. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, so we can see it.
Yeah.
If you can swap.
Yeah, I've done this.
Thank you.
So thanks, Pramod. So way back 2019-20, this idea actually cropped up. One of a colleague who was working with the infrastructure projects, Mr. Shiv Marva. Actually, I should thank him. Actually, I don't know whether he's in this talk or not. He proposed that we should develop a tool where at least visually we are able to demonstrate how the impact of linear infrastructure whichever it is. It could be a linear or it could be any other infrastructure which passes through a protected area or maybe a reserve forest or any other area to know how visually we can represent the impacts. So that was the seed actually was laid by him, and we started working on this. We have two tools which I'm going to present here. One is based on the artificial intelligence based information scaped from the Parivesh site, which we worked closely with CMU. And the second tool is on the RIIAM, the impact tool, which we internally developed in WWF, where we have used RGS enterprise version, and the tools are developed in this environment. So about the rapid infrastructure analysis module, basically we can call it as a RIIAM. It's a geospatial tool. One set is on project database, which I was talking about, the Parivesh, where the data is scrapped automatically. And this was helped by the CMU, the Carnegie Mellon University. And the second one is the impact assessment tool sets. So we wanted to understand that using the database, if any development projects, linear infrastructure or any other projects coming through certain areas based on their location, they can directly pull in that data file. Basically, it's a shape file of the area of where the construction is going to come and visually represent how an impact will happen on a biodiversity area, let's say a protected areas, or it could be how the forest will get lost, or what will be the impact on the forest or on the watershed or on the biodiversity richness. So we have developed few layers internally and some layers which has been supported by IRS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, which were used inside the tool to show the visually effective how the impact is happening. So it allows actually to understand and review the existing proposed infrastructure projects, particularly, and this is tool is specifically for WWF we have developed we have some more than 7-8 landscapes across India. So this tool is exclusively for that, but this can be extended to any other place also other than those landscapes within WWF. So this Carnegie Mellon University was a collaboration. Last 2 years we've been doing using an NL to scrap those infrastructure related
Dr. Areendran, we are having difficulties in listening, in hearing you. So can you?
Yeah.
I think there's some changes in.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Could you please repeat
Pramod, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Parivesh website is still some issues is that unstable. So we're not able to get any data after August, which we are still trying to collaborate with CMU to get it rectified. And the RIIAM is a separate tool which is integrated within the system where you can draw a polygon or you can draw a line based on the information you retrieve from the Parivesh and see visually how the impact will be. So this entire presentation is about that. So this is a representation of the dashboard which we developed based on the database which we receive regularly, automated process it is from the CMU, and it is plotted across India where all those infrastructure projects or any development project that is that comes or that has been announced in Parivesh websites, and it's a concern to the conservation issues. So if I click it here, somebody has raised hand. Tanish Singh has raised hand.
Sorry, Tanish and all. We will
Any
be taking your
questions?
questions very late after the presentation. So if you have any questions, please post it into the Q&A session. Otherwise, we'll not be taking in direct questions by raising hands. Thank you.
Okay, Pramod, can I continue? Yeah.
Yes, please continue, sir.
Yeah. So this is how the dashboard looks, where we have incorporated all the data sets which has come from CMU and plotted again. So it's more of an interactive thing. I will show the live database in this. Just a second. Yeah, this is a live data which is developed by CMU as well as the dashboard is developed internally. So you can actually click, it could be any of the district within our landscape. So let's say in Billwada. If I click it, it will zoom into those areas. It will give an idea what are those projects which are there. So let's say you click somewhere in, you get an information of number of, what is a, so there's a construction approach road developed by the, under the PWT division of Tava. So there are more than 26 pages of information. So we keep updating this for the district across the country, depending upon those information which we receive from CMU. As I said earlier, that from August we are not receiving any updates because of some issues with the Parivesh. But we've been maintaining for last 2 years this data set. So roughly like this dashboard talks about those information across those district wherever there is a project, any new project is announced or what is it. In fact, the next step was to build up that what is the continuous monitoring if we could do of those project situations, whether it is implemented or it is on the complete stage based on what is the data that is published in Parivesh. That was the next stage which we are planning. But unfortunately, the Parivesh site is still unstable, so we are not able to scrap any data or any information from them based on an artificial. It is more of artificial intelligence, more of a manually you have to do, which is not possible at present state. So you can go to any district for that matter. Automatically, this database will change. You'll get an idea what is happening. You can download those files also based on this, PDF and all those things. So and here it talks about the total proposed in each district wise. So this will keep on increasing. Whenever the database is updated, every district, whatever the latest the project that's been sanctioned will get updated. So this is updated till the August 20th. This is the last when we could do it. And this dashboard talks about the max number of total projects across each states that has been sanctioned and that is published in the Parivesh. So this is one set of data which has been developed internally with the help of the database which is provided from the CMU. Now coming to the next, the analytical part. So the infrastructure impact analysis, where the RIIAM is there, here we talk about how the tool sets of using GIS tools to understand the impact visually, and you can draw polygons. You can actually take those shape files which has been published in the Parivesh website, and you can run an analysis on that. And it will give an idea that what is the level of area of impact and how much of area is under, in case if there is a road coming. So let's have the minimum buffer of 20 meters or 30 meters on both sides of the road and see how much of your forest will get lost, how much of your river drainage pattern will get disturbed, or if there is a biological richness or a corridor is there. All those things we will be able to quantify and get a statistics out of it to get a first-hand report, and it will be very comprehensive as well as visually it is very appealing. It is. That's the reason we have developed this toolkit. Just a second. So this is how the impact assessment tool will, the dashboard looks like. So this is just a demo version, but this can be further improvised with more and more data sets. And as you see, these are our various landscapes where presently the analytical tool will actually answer the question if there is any development happening across these landscapes. But for entire India, though we have data sets, but we can develop the tool accordingly. So more the data, the server gets slightly slower because you have to have a better internet bandwidth. But I will show an operational how this the dashboard as well as a analytical tool works in this. So let me share the live database. So this is the live database of the RIIAM toolset actually, which we developed. So you can zoom in, zoom out. And if you look at the right side of the dashboard, on the left side, you have home. You can zoom out, zoom in, and you can have any location plotted. But on the right side, you have various, this is actually legend. What are those various layers present here? If I click it now, it will take half an hour because there are hundreds of, raster polygons are there. So I'm not getting into that, but it's just a more of a vegetation map, which is displayed here. But the layers, if you look, as I said, these are various landscapes. Then you have biological richness, which is published by Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, which actually talks about, which has a lot of information included to calculate the richness across the country, mainly the protected areas and little outside protected areas. So this is one of the very important layer which needs to be included, and it needs to be understood what is the impact. Then we have corridors, tiger corridors. Then we have important bird area, which is also included within this. Then we have drainage, water body, basically the water tanks. Then we have the WWF-India landscapes and world database on protected areas. These are the layers are present in this. So I can switch off any of those, and you can, if you don't want those layers, you can remove, you can add. So this is the facility and the technological, the choice which we give, what you want to. We can keep on adding more and more layers. But as I said, you need to really have a powerful internet bandwidth. Though our servers is very good, but internet bandwidth is a limitation across. If you are using it in some area where there is not much bandwidth, then it will take time for you to do the analysis. Now coming to the next is that this tool is on layer list. Then this is our landscapes, various landscapes. So I can zoom. Now this is presently the central India. So if I click here, it automatically zoom into this place. So this is for internal, as I said, internal WWF requirement. We have created these landscapes. So any of the landscape team members can zoom in, and if they click, let's say, let me go to the Kanchenjunga. I click here, it automatically go to that area. So it will display all those layers, and the team at Kanchenjunga, they can do their analysis accordingly. What is their requirement? But let me stick to the central India because it has the maximum number of infrastructure projects coming in, and all the layers is well displayed here. Then we have this tool, main tool, which we developed internally. This is the main impact analysis tool. So in this case, what happens? You have multiple tools. Like you can have the shape files uploaded. Here, the shape file, I mean, the shape file which is being published in the Parivesh website. Directly, you can bring in an overlay and you can run an analysis, or you can have your own layer drawn. So I will take an example. So I'll draw a polygon here. So let's see, I will zoom in a little. Let's say that there is some infrastructure development it's happening in this area. So I can click it. This is the area which is where the likelihood that the development is going to happen. So I can create a buffer of, let's say, it's up to you, but let's have the minimum area of impact, even if it is 20 meters, and just run the analysis. So you will get all your layers. So you can keep on adding the layers. It will calculate those directly. How many of the impact protected area will be impacted if it is falling within where the area of interest. Then the number of drainage. So you can see within this you have one world database is actually represented here. So one of the PA is impacted. You have more than 49. Yeah, you have more than 49 system of drainages is impacted. So this is actually visually very appealing also. Then you have one tiger corridor has been impacted. You have one important bird area impacted, and the richness, biological richness layers. So it's more than 146 polygons which is impacted. Luckily, there is no water body, that is no water tank close by. But if I have drawn here this much, then it will automatically come. So now, once this is done, you can take a print. You can design your size, whatever it be. So this is more of a portrait. So I would say A3 portrait, and I say print. So this will, you can see this. Pramod, can you see the, yeah. So this will run the analysis accordingly, and it will generate a map of your area of interest in the entire report. It will generate a PDF report of it. You can change here whatever you want, whatever it could be the area of study area. Area of interest is area covered is almost 559 square kilometer, and it will give you time and everything. Once analysis done, you can see like how many protected areas, how much of area is impacted. Drainage, so much of area length, 285 square kilometer length of drainage is impacted. Under the land use cover, you have 528. So area affected is almost 985 square kilometer. Then important bird area, water body, nothing. And here you get the entire detail. So the sanctuary which is impacted is Achanak Mar. Then you have the entire stream description. Then under the land use, you have the degraded forest, water body, moist estuary. So according each class of your forest cover, you will get the area calculated. So imagine like anywhere, any tool, anywhere across India, you can do this calculations. The best part is you can keep on adding on more and more. You can have disturbance radius, you can have degraded map, you can have plantation, you can add other than biodiversity richness, you can add any other biological information which you want to. So let's say elephant habitat, or you can bring in habitat maps of across various species. So it more and more complete. You can bring in data. The analysis will clearly show what is happening. Now, once this entire thing is done, you will get this map with a complete PDF report. You can see. So this is the area you have considered, and this is the area statistics with the class, and your scale. Everything is well represented. You can also enter your comment, and you can use it immediately in the field to showcase in one go what is the impact of a road or any development structure, or it could be anything on polygon size, whatever you draw. It depends upon what is your shapefile, and you get an immediate report. All this literature and all this description can be changed accordingly whoever uses the tool. It is, and also if you look at the biological richness, according to area square kilometer, low richness areas are 1.49, and yeah.
Areendra sir, your voice is breaking, and then we're seeing multiple videos of yours being displayed. I mean, is it because of connection or something?
Some problem. Yeah. Oh, tell me what is that?
But now we can hear you clear.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So the biological richness has a complete descriptive separate note I have added. What actually the biological richness? They take about the species richness, distribution pattern. There are 7 or 8 parameters they have considered under the biological richness, including the vegetation type. Also, they were taken into account. The species diversity of both flora and fauna they have taken into account. Based on that, for the entire country, they have drawn this biological richness. So this is one of the most important. So immediately first-hand report, you can say that how much of your biological richness is and the impact. So, so this talks about the entire tool sets. So the best part is, as I said, I can keep increasing the number of layers to make it more and more robust. And the analysis is done on screen and online it is done. So anytime this tool is like, we can further improvise if the feedback comes, we keep improvising it, and we're working on much more layers to be added into this so that our team members in the field level can use it. And we are trying to, as also it depends upon the software, the capacity of the software. So every year the version is like they have improvised the version and the speed of the display as well as the raster information is improving. So last 3-4 years, things have changed a lot. So large quantity of data can be displayed, can be analyzed online, and immediately a data the repository, and then immediately a report can be generated. That's the beauty of this tool set. So I stop here, and I would like to end my presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any
Thank
questions
you.
anytime?
Thank you, Areendra sir. I'd like to ask a tag question regarding the presentation you just made it. Right. So these saw the biological sort of scenario there, water bodies and others. So what about the infrastructure scenario? When you are planning something to construct in a certain landscape, what is the existing infrastructure scenario? So this also
That
give
can
a
be
layer
brought
of
in. Yes, that can be very much brought in. I didn't want to see, this was just to promote what will be the impact of biodiversity due to the infrastructure. That's the reason I didn't display existing infrastructure. But half your infrastructure road development is happening in widening of new roads. So naturally, what happens that those infrastructure layers I already have, I can always show that one, but I didn't add it. Yeah.
Okay. Because of the, I mean, it would take otherwise a big sort of time for analysis and all this. Okay.
True.
So overall, what we see is, as engineering fraternity can definitely benefit from this this tool, which should be promoted into the practitioners, is what we thought. And then again, I'd like to bring in Mr. Sharma again here. We lost you during your initial sort of remarks. So would you like to continue with that? And also, since you have seen the presentation, would you like to add on to what you just saw, or some guidance on what should be the way forward regarding implementation of this and promotion of these softwares as such? Sharmaji, please take
I
it.
got disconnected. Sorry.
Nice, yes, sir.
Pramod, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry, I got disconnected, so I could not finish my welcome. But it was almost over. Only thing is, I wanted to give some brief about CIA. I think it's not required at this stage. Most of people know about it, and our website is there. So we are in the profession, for service of profession, consulting profession rather, for last 60 years. We are providing, upgrading the knowledge of our consultants. We have got all types of the membership, member individual, member organizations, affiliate members. Young professionals are also there. We are regularly organizing seminars, webinars, lot of things, workshops. One thing is our basic is to inculcate ethical culture within the consultancy at all levels. You know, it's not only in the profession, but in day-to-day type of working. Then the improvement of the quality. You know, we should never be satisfied with the quality. That should be the motto, and we should go on improving the quality. So we had organized a lot of seminars on this subject in all the sectors, and we are providing training for the FIDIC, Conditional Contact. We are the member association for International Federation for Consulting Engineers. Just recently, this week, we had a conference, introductory conference in Nepal, Kathmandu. It's all devoted to this governance for this climate change. You know, there's a lot of problems are coming, the climate shocks are coming. So what we are doing is with this rapid infrastructure development, you know, a lot of trees are being cut, a lot of hill slopes are being made unstable. So it's creating a lot of problems. And then again, she's adding to the increase in the daily temperature. You know, there's a melting of the glaciers. A lot of things are happening. You know, so it's all we should be very much concerned about this environment ecosystem. In fact, not just zero. We should improve upon it because we have done a lot of damage in the last 50 years. So we have to improve upon it. You know, so that to survive, especially for the future generation. That is all I wanted to say on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharma sir. We are proud to be collaborating with Consulting Engineers Association of India, and it is being done at the international level, where FIDIC is partnering with WWF US, and then we are collaborating at the country level, where we have been following all the recent developments going on in FIDIC Asia Pacific as well. The last
yes,
week,
the WWF was also there.
Yes. WWF's events, I mean, the FIDIC event, we have been closely following through the live sessions that we attended through online, but it was really nice. We're seeing some hands being raised from participants. If you have some questions, could you please write down, or if you really want to speak out your problems, we can let you in to speak as well. So starting with Chandan Ghosh, we'd like to bring you to the panel. So Chandanji, would you like to add on to your questions, please? Yes.
Okay. Very nice presentation, especially about the various projects that are going on in the country and showing them in the together in the India. The map that being shown is really exciting and bringing the power of GIS that putting them together into India map. It is almost full with all kinds of decorations that coming from various infrastructure projects and things are there. So thank you very much for taking up this initiative. And I'm Chandan Ghosh, Professor Chandan Ghosh, currently working as Chief Consultant with Nippon Koei, India, headquartered in Delhi. And I'm more about that what Sharma Saab was speaking just now about the climate change and impact that which is going on. And during presentation, a lot of it is only that secondary information or whatever information is available, shapefile you have made into shapefile or you have put them into the GIS. And then analysis part that which you are doing in the context of what Mr. Engineer R.S. Sharma Saab jo hai, whatever he has presented, just expressed about the climate change and in fact, impact. So yes, really it is CEAI के तरफ से even अपने तरफ से what we look into that putting the data into GIS map and then what are the integration, interaction, especially keeping sustainable development goal or climate change that which is going on, then analysis part would be more stringent and more effective when we correlate each other's. Like when we are making a bridge to decongest the traffic in a city, say small area. So and then what is the before? What is the kind of traffic is there? And after the construction of the bridge or overbridge or underpass or whatever it is, which is going on across the city, all the smart city, everything is going on. Then how GIS tool is going to incorporate this kind of impact or changes with the color coding that in that particular stretch of that would be very good, feedback or very good, data processing report to the organization or municipalities or government. And in that case, then we have to go even beyond GIS using 3D modeling, 3D, in fact, CFD modeling, using the principles of physics, multi-physics, because everything is physics and all process, process to be involved, discretization and mesh generation in 3D have to be made, which is very much required, Then only we'll be able to see that climate change related impact or even cloudburst that going on, or even like in Delhi, we are in a gas chamber. It is showing all this data is over 400, over 500, over 900. But these are all just only reporting sake within 2 meter, 3 meter diameter, whatever that sensor is giving the data, it is being interpreted. Only 40, 50 such data hub in Delhi cannot represent even 1600 square kilometer area. So what is important is that we are doing linear interpolation. Even GIS tool also cannot do. But the main thing behind this is this kind of 3D modeling. So we have to go into that aspect. Actually, it is not linear interpolation or it is not connecting by a straight line, but how all other things, temperature and say humidity, then wind flow, then vertically, horizontally, and then building, wherever buildings are there, so all those ambience that created there, when we put into this kind of model, then it will really say display, or it will really represent that
Thank-
what is the extent of flow, or what's the extent of pollution over here. So it is just only a suggestion which I would like to say that
Thank you.
information
Thank
gathering
you.
is a wonderful job that you have done. Now we have to go one step beyond, well, modeling, 3D modeling of the entire geospace, especially up to say 50 meter, 40 meter, and with all buildings and all together. And through LiDAR mapping, we know now all the coordinates of 3D, buildings
Thank
and
you.
everything, all dimensions. Only we have to make a discretization and put this kind of CFD models into that.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh, for your very insights on how we can enhance our analysis and also that bring that into decision making. You definitely touched upon the climate change impacts and also the pollution levels that we are seeing every day increasing in India's context as well. So yes, those are definite sort of areas where we can think of. But this particular application, we have some dedicated questions from Anthony Clevenger that I'd like to post upon to Areendran sir. So if you can
in
answer
fact,
to some of the questions. Yes, sir.
Pramod, I want
Please.
to answer Dr. Chandan Singh. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. We can get in with the software has a the way we develop the database, it's more of a 2D which you've done now, but we can always get a 3D done and include the climate change impacts as a layer, and we can run it. That's our future, and that's a plan we have also. We need to have more and more, the power of systems to run the entire India data sets. Even at a district level, sometimes you do have very high resolution of 40 meters or something. It's good. You get a clear cut what is the impact you can see. But this is more of a India level, 1:1 million scale. We are run it to get an idea whether this tool works well, and to get an visually whether there's an impact. So thanks for the suggestion.
Thank you very much, Professor Ghosh and Areendran sir. So there's a follow-up question regarding the presentation on RIIAM. So Anthony Clevenger, who is our mentor on road ecology as well. So he has some questions regarding, does this road or rail infrastructure projects, does that analysis is done for single infrastructure project, or also that can look beyond to multiple projects? That's in the aspect of cumulative impacts assessment, cumulative environmental assessment. So can you answer to that question, sir?
Pramod, I missed the.
Well, the thing is, does this application looks into individual project only or multiple project is the question he has posed. Can you prioritize the severity of projects development in terms of risk to conservation in nature and biodiversity as well? So overall, this is what this overall application tries to do. So I think if you can answer to question 1 and 2.
So
from Anthony.
yeah,
yes, sir.
As I told you right from the beginning, this is a very still a developing tool set. First, the objective of the tool was to represent visually. If the infrastructure, it could not necessarily on the ground, this will be the, the actual situation. But yeah, on a map level, that too also I answered like at the 2D map level, you just get 2 directions. Okay, if there is a line comes or if there's a polygon comes, so much of area of forest or so much area of water, it will be get lost. It's just a direct calculations of how much impact will be there. But if the cumulative impact if you want to see, it has to a lot of mathematical things has to be brought in. That can be done. That I've internationally I've been trying to do many. I've been researching that if there is any tool available where we can take this to a next level where we can get into the cumulative, we can build those. But it gets more and more complicated, and you really need to have a lot of hardware, and power of internet has to be a lot. But that's a future idea, because this is just a logic test of what an impact will look like, or to get an idea only. Scientifically, it is many things are still questionable. But yeah, cumulative impact is one thing which we need to look into, which we are planning. It took us 3 years to develop this tool. Imagine it's internally done. But yeah, of course, there's going to be support, and more people are going to start using and give feedback. We can improvise and get the cumulative impact also can be brought in, including climate change things also. So that can be built in. This is just a GIS tool. More and more we can more algorithm we bring in the analytics will go to impress, will improve and have more robust outputs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shiv Marwa, you were mentioning about Shiv's role in developing this. So he comes in and says that
Oh, he's there. I didn't. Sorry.
The entire data is correlated, and the next step is to work out on the vulnerabilities. Rightfully mentioned that complements to what Dr. Ghosh was mentioning earlier. So that is there. We have, I think we'll only be able to take the last question for now. Jyoti Kumari is asking regarding how to use this, and then on her, I mean, she directly wants to use this application. So we'll be sending the application guide to every of the participants that are available here today. So we'll be sending you a document which will do a step-by-step guide to how to use this application. So that can be done easily. Yes, this is only for the rapid impact is what Sibji mentioned. So there's I think we can take a last question from Anthony. He says, I was wondering if RIIAM includes land use data such as secured land, the example protected areas or areas, land that may be unsecured in developed in future, that can impact the ultimate effectiveness of biodiversity safeguards that are implemented. If land is developed in 10 to 30 years after construction, it will nullify the conservation value of mitigation investment. Question is, biological richness value, can you filter by species guilds, example herpetofauna, large mammals, or customized filtering, or biological richness rather than all the biodiversity? So that is
This layer takes account of all the guilds actually, but yeah, we can do a separate guild wise. We can bring in the biological richness, or either flora wise, fauna wise, or if you want taxa wise also we can bring in. But this layer, which is readily available with IRS, takes into account of all the guilds accordingly, across flora and fauna.
Yes, to summarize as well, as the name suggests, this is a rapid infrastructure impacts analysis model. So the verification needs to be done on ground level to get the better understanding of what exactly the outcomes are, whether matching to the real constraints or not. So that should be done. And also the last question going forward, I mentioned that would be the last, but Bidut again mentions about Bidut Burman has a question. Can DPR consultants use this application? That is a definite yes. Kindly mention once again the resolution of the map, and do other data layers need to maintain similar resolution of the tool accepts in any form, is his question.
Okay,
so
well, yeah, you can use this. It's still improvising on it, and still, more and more robust things we are planning to do. The base layer is of 1:1 million, but few other layers are at 1:50,000 scale. So biological richness is 1:50,000. The protected area is at 1:50, because mainly here the concept of protected area is just a boundary we need. So those are all 1:50,000. So multiple scales we have merged, and multi-scale maps we have used under this. This tool can be used by anybody, but of course we would like to have more and more feedback and support so that we can improvise this tool more, more useful for the planners.
So thank you. And going forward, we don't have much questions left to be answered, and then we're now towards the end of this webinar. So as I mentioned, I would like to mention this to everyone that we'll be sharing the step-by-step guide for this tool to use it to make it handy for yourself, and you can try it yourself as well. If there are any questions, we're always there to support in. So thank you for everyone for your presence in this webinar. Thank you, Mr. R.S. Sharma, for your opening remarks, and Dr. Areendran for your presentation and explanations to all the questions that we had. I'd like to thank Dr. Ridhima Solanki and Bia Halder for supporting this webinar event. Also, Sudhir sir, R.S. Sharma sir, for your always valuable support in driving these collaborations that we have between CEI and WWF-India. This collaboration and the webinar has been made possible by the generous support of United States Agency for International Development. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to meeting you in the next webinar next month on a different theme linked to linear infrastructure development and biodiversity conservation. We'll ensure that all of today's webinar attendees will be receiving a follow-up email with details of the upcoming webinar. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramod.
Thank you, Pramod. As always, you have managed well. Very good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye.